Welcome to the DoubleACS Daily News. Well-known comic book artist and professional cartoonist Judd Winick came to Plainville's An Unlikely Story last Thursday. There, the artist spoke about his career and his newest book, and we spoke with him after the presentation.
I'm Judd Winick. I am a professional cartoonist, which means, well, when I was 10 years old, I used to make things up and draw them, and now I'm 47, and I make things up and draw them. For me, this is kind of coming full circle. I was going to be like one of my idols and be a syndicated cartoonist and do a comic strip. So comic strips are kind of all ages affairs. 8 or 80, you could open the newspaper and anyone could read it. And that's what I wanted to do. And then I got away from it for a while. I started writing superhero comics, I was developing TV, I did an animated series. And now I sort of just came all the way back and doing like this all ages graphic novel is sort of the same audience I was always planning on. While I was doing the comic strip, newspapers were having a tough time. It was literally two things were merging. One, as I was doing it as a professional, I was having a little less fun with it. I was a little less interesting. I wanted to tell bigger stories. And coupled with that newspapers were dying out and syndication was dying out. And while that was happening is when I decided to try doing a graphic novel about Pedro Zamora. It was the first time I actually was going to tell a long story. Pedro Zamora, who was my roommate on The Real World, who died of AIDS about 3 months after we finished filming. So I did a book called Pedro and Me. So it all kind of came about the same time. I was working on a comic strip, while on the side I started doing this graphic novel. And by the time I finished the graphic novel, I realized, no, you know what? This is how I tell stories. I tell these bigger stories. You know, it's words and pictures told in a big format. My mother and father never told me I couldn't do this. Like, that's not a real job. You know, it's a good hobby. I'll do something else. I never heard that. So for the kids out there, you just got to keep drawing and keep doing what you love and do it over and over and over again. And it's okay to copy grown-ups' work. A lot of people say you got to come up with your own stuff. Like, I learned how to be a cartoonist by copying Garfield and later Bloom County and also comic books.
Copying or is it inspiration?
It was flat out copying / inspiration. When I was going through issues of the Fantastic Four and copying John Byrne's art, you know, learning how to do anatomy by copying the way he was drawing people, I was copying, but by drawing his drawings, that's how I learned how to do it. And for the grown-ups, get your stuff out there. Just actually do it. They can find me on my website, which is judspillowfort.com. They can find me on Facebook at Judd Winick. They can find me on Twitter, also Judd Winick. I'm on social media. I'm all over the place. It's pretty easy to find me. But most importantly, you can go read the books. What I like about most is that my work's is in libraries. More than anything else, I get the biggest kick out of that, going into a library and see dog-eared, beat-up copies of my book with with my name just on the side of it there that's been laminated a little bit. I love that. I do. I just love seeing my books in the library.
That's it for today's update. You can watch all of our content in high definition by visiting our website, DoubleACS.com, by downloading the DoubleACS mobile app or visiting the DoubleACS Roku channel. For DoubleACS News, I'm Austin Ricketts.